Welcome back to the Sip the Tally preseason power rankings. We're at Team 30 today, but before we get into Team 30, let's recap Team 31, the Cleveland Browns. Now, there was a little upload problem yesterday with the premiere. The whole video wasn't uploaded originally. I saw it, went back and fixed it. That's why you may have seen the second video come out maybe a couple hours later after the first video. So kind of dropped the ball on that one, but everything should be good and squared away. It was a user error, all on me. And let's move forward with today's show. So yesterday was the Browns. Quarterback for the Browns was number 29. Running back was 25. Wide receiver was 22. Tight end was 29. O-line was 23. Defensive line edge was 29 because Myles Garrett don't really have no help, in my opinion. The linebacker group, I really like the linebacker group, even without JOK. I had them at number 2. Cornerback 29. And as much as I like that corners and to play that cover one scheme, they give up some bombs. And occasionally they'll make a play, but is what the plays they make worth what they give up. And if Myles Garrett don't push the pocket, they hung out to dry. And to keep in mind, I just said Myles Garrett by himself. Safety having a 20, and they came out to be a 23.11111. And that made the Browns the number 31 team on the Sip the Tally preseason power rankings for 2025. Now let's transform into today's team. Today's team, I would say in their mind, are Super Bowl or bust. Super Bowl or bust. But when I broke down position by position, while in some areas of the team, they have the talent to be Super Bowl bound, but in other areas of the team, there's some unknown knowns and some known unknowns. And if you know anything about that, that's Remy from the Boondocks.
Well, what I'm saying is that there are known knowns and that there are known unknowns, but there's also unknown unknowns, things we don't know that we don't know.
And they have a bunch of those. So your number 30 team is quote unquote America's team, the Dallas Cowboys. Let's get into it. Now we'll start with their draft choices. Drafted number 12 overall. A lot of people thought they were going with a receiver. I know I was speaking with Botch. He was hoping that they targeted Tet, but Tet didn't make it to 12, so they picked up by far the best guard in the draft pick, and that's Tyler Booker from Alabama. They got a defensive lineman, Donovan Ezaraku from Boston College, who has a pretty good pass rush bag. Maybe not as stout against the run, but his pass rush bag is pretty there, so that'd be a good compliment to Michael. I don't think he'll start, though, because they got some other guys. Siobhan Revel, they picked a cornerback who was injured most of last year. So if he comes back from injury, that would help them in that cornerback room as well. But that's one of those known unknowns. Picked up Jaden Blue, super fast running back from Texas. They're trying to rebuild that run game because their running backs for the past couple of years since Tony Pollard left haven't been worth a flip, and their O-line has gotten worse with the retiring of a couple of pretty good offensive linemen. So they're trying to build up their run game. They're trying to build their running game back up. Linebacker Shamar James from Florida in the 5th round. Offensive lineman Elijah Cornelius from Oregon in the 6th. Jay Toyer, defensive tackle from UCLA in the 7th. Phil Maffa, another running back from Clemson in the 7th. And Tommy Aking B. Soti from defensive tackle from Maryland. So those are their draft picks from the 2025 draft. They had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They had 9 picks. And I think about 4 or 5 of them will contribute this year. That's Booker, Ezaraku, Jaden Blue, and potentially Siobhan Revel. Let's get into what they have on the team coming back and who are the potential starters. All right, looking at their lineup going across the board, we'll start with quarterback. Dak Prescott, we know Dak has the potential to be one of the best in the NFL, but he also has the potential to throw it to the other team. They traded for Joe Milton from New England. And I liked what Joe put on tape in the preseason last year and in the last, I think it's the last game of the season. I don't think he's an issue or to take Dak's job, but I think he could be a good guy to be in place whenever Dak decides to shut it down. Joe Milton has a cannon arm, and if he can just learn from Dak, he'll eventually, in my opinion, probably take over for Dak whenever Dak decides to shut it down. They also have Will Greer in that room, and I think he's a non-factor. Going to the running back room, Javonte Williams, Miles Sanders, Jaden Blue, Deuce Vaughn. If I'm not mistaken, Javonte came in from Dallas, so that's an upgrade in that room. Adding Miles Sanders from Carolina, that's an upgrade. And then drafting Jaden Blue, so they now have a lot better backfield than they've had the past 2 years. Well, since Tony left. And you got guys that can do multiple things. Blue can catch it out the backfield. Miles can catch it out the backfield. Javonte can kind of run between the tackles. So that's an upgrade to that running back room. And again, we'll give you the rankings once I get to the end of the depth chart on offense. Receiver room. They traded for George Pickens. And you add George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb together, that's a lethal combo. But if you play a team that can somewhat defend them, who's going to be that third receiver to step up? Is it going to be Jalen Tolbert? Who's going to be Kevontae Turpin? Is it going to be Mingo? I doubt it. They got Paris Campbell in that room as well. So, the two-headed monster at the top will produce a lot. But what's going to happen if one of those guys are hurt or if one of them or both of them having a bad game? Where's the third guy to step up coming from? And you could say it may come from the tight end room. They got Jake Ferguson and Luke Schoonmaker. Both of them are mid to me. They're average. They could be the third guy if the receivers are not having, or the scheme is taking the receivers away. But both of them to me are mid or average football. I can say mid, average football players, because mid is a negative connotation. Let's go to their offensive line. Now, projected starters: Tyler Guyton, Tyler Smith, the two Tylers. Tyler Smith, absolute animal. Tyler Guyton was drafted first round last year. Didn't play as well. I think, if I'm not mistaken, got benched. But coming back with year 2, I think he'll have a better year than he had. Cooper Beebe, who played at Kansas State, is now the center. Then they drafted Tyler Booker, and they still got Terrence Steele. And honestly, in my opinion, the two tackles are their issue. Guyton, with the learning issue and getting better as a rookie. Then Terrence Steele, I really have never heard a lot of good things about Terrence Steele. And I watched some decent Cowboy content. I haven't heard a lot of good things about Steele. But these other four, promising. But we also know from the first video, potential gets you fired. And they got a brand new coach. So who knows if he get a second run if they don't. If they play where I got them projected, Schottenheimer won't be that past this year. Probably. Let's look at the rankings I got for each position real quick. Quarterback, Dak Prescott and crew, 17. All those running backs that they got, even though I think is an improvement, they're known unknowns. We don't know how well they're going to work with this O-line. And I still think at the end of the day, Blue's probably going to take one of them jobs. Even though Javonte's a veteran and who's the middle guy? I forgot the middle guy just that fast. Miles Sanders, injuries. I think Blue's going to eventually get this job. And they got Deuce Vaughn in there too, but this running back room has a lot to be desired. And I think the best one is probably going to be the rookie. And so you see the ranking. Number 11 for receivers. Pickens and Lamb, cream of the crop, top duo. One of the top duos in the league, but Tolbert, Turpin, Mingo, that makes them fall out the top 10. They don't have that third guy that I feel like can be consistent. Tight ends, I talked about the tight ends. I called them mid, but I changed it to something else. Changed it to meh or average or whatever. Ferguson and Schoonmaker, okay, 26. Then the offensive line. 21st offensive line on the strength of Tyler Smith, Cooper Beebe, Booker, rookie. Still, like I said, I hadn't heard great things about him. And potentially a jump from Tyler Guyton will make them better. But again, potential gets you fired. And that's the offense for the Dallas Cowboys. Let's look at the defensive side for the Dallas Cowboys here. All right, we're flipping over to the defensive side, and we'll start with the defensive front. Dante Fowler, I think, may start in front of Williams. You got Michael Parsons on the other side, and you got Donovan Ezaraku as a third end in that group as well. On the inside, Mozzie Smith, Ozzy Odigizua. You see Mozzie's grade down there, 34.8. And when listening to Cowboys content creators, they don't think highly of Mozzie. So Jay Toya, the rookie, may get some of those reps coming in there, and maybe even Solomon Thomas as well. But Mozzie's probably going to start until they move him up out of there on double teams and solo blocks, and then they'll add one of their young guys in there. Going to linebackers. And Michael's everything, but I got him with the edge group, but he's technically outside linebacker, but they don't play 3-4, so he with the D-line group. But when you just think about their linebackers, you're looking at Kenny Murray Jr. and Overshown. So, and you might get some Sanborn in there as well, but as far as what mostly they're going to be in is nickel, because most people play nickel because of the base, because it's 3 wide receiver situation. Murray and Overshown are probably going to be the guys in there, and Murray hasn't lived up to where he was drafted with the Chargers and now with the Cowboys. Overshown, if I'm not mistaken, is his second season. They have Maris was up. Maris is the one in the second season. Let me see what Overshown is right quick. Splits. Oh, there it is. Stats. Oh, Overshown second season. I was correct. I gotta trust my knowledge from time to time. Oh, this is second season. So, they're long gone from when the Commanders coach, I almost said something else. Commanders coach was their defensive coordinator, and they was playing safeties at linebacker. And they're not there anymore. They actually got some real linebackers there now, so we'll see what they can do in that situation. Look at their cornerbacks. Cornerback should be a strength of theirs. I don't know when Diggs is coming back. So you're looking at Deron Bland, the rookie Revel, who's hurt as well. Most that Makumu, as maybe the nickel. Khair Elam from the Bills, who fell off the map. The cornerback potential, and potential gets you fired. That's where we at with it. Like I said, this team got Super Bowl potential, but Super Bowl aspirations, but they got a lot of questions. They got a lot of known knowns, some known unknowns that they don't know. So let's keep going to the safety room. Safety room, Malik Hooker and Donovan Wilson with rookie. I'm trying to say his name, but he was a rookie last year. Thomas. I think Thomas was a rookie last year. No, his brother's a rookie from Florida State, and this is the older brother from Niceville, Florida. That's what it is. I've had dealings with both of them. Both of them used to kill us. So that's one of their safeties. I also got Marquise Bell back there as well. Marquise Bell was one of those DBs that they had playing linebacker. But again, it ain't great back there. It's okay. It ain't great back there. So now when I'm going through it, you see why they're here at 30. Let's look at the rankings for the defense. Defensive line edge. They got Michael. Nobody else is proven. You might even be starting a rookie. May even be starting a rookie on the other side. As Raku may end up taking that job on the other side. So you never know. But they got Micah, and Micah can make a lot of plays, but as a group, 30. I'm sorry, 26. Linebacker group, Murray and Overshown. Murray's a vet, Overshown's young, and I think Overshown's better, and Marist probably going to take Murray's spot, honestly. If Murray don't produce like he need to, it's about time for him to get good or get gone. And Luafau may end up taking that spot. Cornerbacks, 26. Diggs injury. Bland, you don't know. Revel drafted hurt. Makumu, 26. Now, potential could be there again. Potential could be there, but potential gets you fired. And then the safety room, Hooker and Wilson, got him at 19. I do like that. And also with Marquise Bell being a extra one, and Thomas, I like those four as a whole in the safety group. And that's why I have that safety group ranked 19. And some of those guys may jump down and try to play some nickel too until Diggs come back and if Revel is not healthy. But overall, when you add all those numbers together, they come out to be 23. Take their quarterback group, running back group, receiver group, tight end, offensive line, defensive line, linebacker, cornerback, and safety. Add them all up, divide them by 9. Total is 23. So the Dallas Cowboys is your number 30 team on the Sip the Tally preseason power rankings. Cowboy fans, don't hate me. The numbers are where they are, and your team has a lot of...
Well, what I'm saying is that there are known knowns and that there are known unknowns, but there's also unknown unknowns. Things we don't know that we don't know.
And they don't know that they don't have a really good team until they get on the field. Which Pickens and, I will say this as a caveat before I end, Pickens and CeeDee Lamb and Dak could erase all that other stuff. That's how good those three are. But the rest of them, they got to step their game up. And on that note, man, I appreciate y'all for coming out. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here with me. Like, comment, subscribe, and share whether you agree or disagree in the comment section. And I'll see y'all in the next one, man. Peace and love.